So now it's my pleasure to present the North Star Award to the friend of my heart and mind, Maggie Williams.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. It is really amazing to see you all this evening. You look fantastic and beautiful, and I can feel the justice. I saw an earlier version of Tracy's intro comments, so I was really taken aback by them. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for the lovely and generous introduction. I, too, remember how quickly we felt like family and started sharing intimate apparel. It's an honor and a privilege to share the stage tonight with ACT and with NICE, both active members of the Advocacy Institute and powerful examples of grassroots organizations winning policy change at the local and state level. I'm also honored to share the stage with Hugh and Rashad. Hugh for being our visionary former executive director, and Rashad for his incredible work with Color of Change. Let's not mince words. What's happening with our federal government is heartbreaking and terrifying. At AI, we believe one of the best ways for us to fight back is to ensure that we are a true sanctuary state on all fronts. In New York, justice means calling out our governor and the Independent Democratic Conference for being obstructionist and self-serving. And it means doing all we can to bolster organizations that share our values, like the grantees of the North Star Fund and the Working Families Party. Eight years ago, I took a job working in the state Senate. Before this, Tracy and I were in the bathroom getting ready, and I told her that nothing is as hard as working in the state Senate. We can totally do this. It's true. 8 years ago, I took a job working in the state Senate. For just a minute, the Democrats had a real majority in Albany. Tracy told me, "You have to take this job because you look like you and you have my politics." She was right. My white privilege and law degree granted me access to certain conversations where I could advocate on the inside. And I still encountered rampant racism, sexism, and homophobia in the halls of our Capitol. I learned quickly and painfully that if I wanted senators to pay attention to the bills I was advocating for, that I needed to wear skirt suits and pass as straight, an option I have given my gender presentation. I learned how flippantly bills were dismissed, bills that would have a tremendous impact on the lives of low-income communities, communities of color, and queer communities. I also learned what so many people in this room know, that when we engage in legislative advocacy, we confront directly the same oppressive forces that created the need for the legislation in the first place. Yeah. That's why in 2011, the amazing James Schaefer and I James was sitting in the back, but I told him that nobody puts baby in the corner. That's why James and I started the Advocacy Institute. With the help of the North Star Fund, we're building a statewide social justice movement with more political power and more legislative wins. James and I actually go way back. His older sister, Julie, and I were co-presidents of our school in the 8th grade. We ran on a feminist platform after a boy in our class rejected me as a running mate because I wouldn't get enough votes. And revealing of our liberal upbringing, we revamped New Yorker cartoons with campaign slogans like, The dogs' tails go waggy for Julie and Maggie. The fact is, my identity as a white queer woman born and raised in New York City with inherited wealth is constantly informing how I navigate spaces and how people respond to me. In many ways, the Advocacy Institute is James and my attempt to right-roll our privilege while also contributing fully to the movement. At AI, we invest in advocates bringing their full identities to this work. We believe that our stories matter. Who we are and where we come from matters. It informs how we show up on teams, the roles we default into, and the way elected officials may treat us in the legislative arena. Our stories make us more effective at building our political power and standing in our full dignity. I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of the Advocacy Institute team, many of whom are here this evening. If you're a current or former staff member or on the advisory committee, please stand for a moment. Before I end my remarks, I want to thank the many teachers, mentors, colleagues, and friends who've had my back and challenged and supported me. I also want to give a shout out to the brilliant and committed North Star Fund team and welcome Jennifer Ching. Jennifer, I'm so grateful you said yes. Lastly, I want to thank my mother, Christina McInerney, for being my most ardent supporter always, and my partner, Joseph Rose Catalanati, for being my chosen family. Thank you for this recognition. It's an honor to be organizing with all of you. Thank you so much.